What's up YouTube, Low Riding Gorilla here, and we're back for another part of my Let's Play Simulator series. Today we're going to be checking out another game I've seen on Steam, Car Mechanic Simulator 2014. Me being a car savvy person, which a lot of you probably don't know, it is something a little bit of an interest to me. It looks good for one, definitely. So we're going to go ahead and check out this game. Basically what I've seen so far is the goal of the game is to perform car repairs, ranging different types of car repairs and everything like that. I went ahead and set up a profile just so we could go ahead and skip that part right there. Right here we got the main menu, we got career mode, which what I've seen is 75 repairs, 4x4 add-on, which is the first update. Turbo add-on, what I was reading, is supposed to be released sometime around September. I don't have an exact date, but I know it was either September or October that they were supposed to be releasing that add-on, which is cool. And then of course endless mode, which you unlock when you finish career mode. Now what we're going to do, just for the sake of the video, considering it's just one of my Let's Plays and not a complete playthrough, is we're going to click on 4x4 add-on just so people can see some of the new stuff. And it's basically the same as career mode. It just adds a couple more, I think one more vehicle, a 4x4, and a few different types of repairs. So we're going to go ahead and click on this right here and go ahead and start this. And we're just waiting on it to load up. And like I said, I'm a car person, so when I was looking at the description of this, I was like, hey, the first thing it made me think of was earlier games like Snap-On Gearhead Garage, which was actually a really good game for its time, even though the game was made in the 90s. And also kind of made me have a reminiscence of Street Legal Racing Redline, even though that was a awful game with a great idea for car people. So we're going to go ahead and begin this invoice right here. As you can see, this is the first invoice. The goal is, it says mount new wheels, so we're going to have to replace the wheels on this car. So the wheels on my car are all worn out. Please change them to new ones. They're paying us $4,500, so let's go ahead and begin. And it looks like what we got right here is a Jeep. So we're going to head over to the computer, wherever it is in the shop. Here it is. And we're going to go ahead and order our parts. Now the computer on the game, the basis of the computer is, this is where you order your parts for repair orders. You have the car parts shop, which is listed with all the parts you can see right here. Some of them are added on, being the 4x4 add-on like I said a minute ago. And you can see all the different parts that you possibly have to replace on a car. You have the used car repair parts. They're a good bit cheaper, but the condition is kind of random on them. But you get some orders here and there that they just tell you fix the part decent. I haven't had too many of them, but I've had one or two that you replace just with a used part. You just find something to fix it because their part's completely broken. And then you have learning books, which they add basically like perks to yourself in the garage. Obviously, tools in the garage, you get 10% faster unbolting for every level. Business management, you get 5% more from each repair order. Become a better mechanic, which is one random part be instantly examined, which will just allow you to examine parts, because some of the orders you place, people just want you to examine their car, not necessarily replace parts. And so you look at it and it shows you a percentage of how damaged the part actually is. And then Master of Commerce, you get 2% discount in car shops. So whenever you order parts, you'll get a discount, so it'll save you money of the amount that they're paying you. And then you get the bank loan, which you get a one-time bank loan, and that's used if for some reason you're in the red or you need more money for something, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and begin this. Let's go ahead and order our parts. We need 4 new wheels for that car. So it's a Jeep, so let's see, where are the correct wheels? There they are. The Hawthorne Wanderer wheels. $1,000 a piece, so we're going to need 4 of them, so that's going to drain down our order a good bit. But I'll show you something in a minute that'll get us a little bit back once we complete this order. Here we go. And we're going to go ahead and go over here and go ahead and change these wheels off this Jeep. Alright, we're going to go ahead and click on the first wheel. And let's start disassembling. The part that doesn't make any sense to me is they're using a wrench to take them off. And sure, you could do that on a car, but I think an impact would have done the thing. As you can see, that's kind of cool. It puts blocks on the car. And we're just going to throw on one of the new tires. And here we go, 100%. Just bolt them back on. There we go, brand new wheel. And here we go, we're going to go ahead and pop off this next one. And now this job's kind of one of the more simple, basic jobs. But there are a few of them in here, changing oil and stuff like that, that are quickly going through, I guess you could say. And it kind of seems to get a little repetitive with that, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Sometimes you'll get diagnostic jobs, which are, they'll just say, oh, it's making noise here, and you have to kind of figure it out, diagnose it, where exactly the problem is on the car. And some of them are interesting because if you do know a little bit about cars and automobiles, it's interesting because it kind of helps the problem solving if you know from, I guess, real life experience the symptoms are. And that kind of makes it a little bit easier, even though I've noticed from this game that it's not 100% accurate. Obviously, it's a game, and a lot of it is somewhat correct. And that should be it for this repair order. And we're going to go ahead and check over here. We've changed all the wheels, as you can see from the check mark, and we're going to mark repaired, and that completes this order. Right, and we're in the next one. Replace worn out engine parts. They're paying us $2,500. Need to have the whole engine checked. Please see what's wrong and replace all damaged parts. As I said, this is a diagnostic repair. So we're going to have to go in. Now, the one thing I was saying to make a little bit money after the job, as you see, we have all these wheels left over from the last one. We're just going to sell them. They're not in good condition. We're going to get an extra $476 back, which is just a little bit extra of a cushion to help us in the garage, especially for upgrades and everything. So we're going to go ahead and pop the hood, and I can see some parts already that look bad. Looks like this air tube is in bad condition. We're going to do an examine just so I can show you how it works. We're going to right click on examine, and we'll click on it. It's 10%. Obviously, it's no good. We're going to take it off the car. We're going to have to order one of those. And let's go ahead and examine this just to see. And it won't let us examine that, so we're going to have to take it off. And the airflow meter was 5%, so it's going to have to be replaced as well. And the air cover was fine. It was at 91, and the air filter 23. So we'll go ahead and replace all that, except for the cover. The battery, let's check the condition on the battery. Battery is fine, 88%. I know I saw over here the alternator looked bad. So we're going to go ahead and, yeah, we got, and that's one thing I did notice from this game. The camera can be quite a pain. We're going to go over here, here we go. We're going to have to remove the belt first. The belt, 91%, so the belt's in good condition. And alternator looks bad, as you can see from the rust. Yeah, the alternator was shot 10%. Water pumps looks to be bad. We're gonna go ahead and take the belt tensioner off. The belt tensioner is 89, so it's fine. And the belt 95, so it's alright. The water pump's gonna have to come off. 18%, so it's going to have to be replaced as well. Let's go ahead and take this cover off so we can check under here. Not seeing nothing here, but there's a good chance something could be wrong with the ignition wires, so we'll check those out. Ignition wires were 95%, so they're alright. Spark plugs. Not sure about the spark plugs, but let's pop them out. Yeah, that spark plug needs to be replaced. It's at 22%. That one's at 95. We'll go ahead and pop them all out, and the ones that are good, we'll put back in. 87, 13. Now, as you can see, both the outside spark plugs are bad, so that usually implies that the ignition module is bad on the back side of the motor. I've noticed that on a few of the jobs whenever both the outside spark plugs are bad. It's this ignition module right here. So we're going to pull this off and check the condition of it. Chances are it's not in good condition. No, ignition module's at 10%, so it's shot. So right now what we're going to need to do is we're going to go ahead and start ordering some replacements. Now we're going to need obviously 2 spark plugs to replace the damaged ones, but we're going to start at the top and work our way down through what we know we need. We're going to need an air filter, $35. The airflow meter, quite pricey. The airflow tube, an alternator, and we're going to scroll down a little bit. I think we need, I know we need a water pump, we need the ignition module, we need 2 spark plugs and a water pump, I believe, are the last 2 things. Spark plugs, not that expensive. Definitely more expensive than real life, $30 a plug. It's ridiculous. And a water pump, $300. We're going to go ahead and hop back over to the car. Like I said, the graphics do really look good on here. Getting a little bit from the glass, but I think that's intentional. And we're going to hop down and start putting this car back together. Right, we're going to go ahead and pop in our new spark plugs. Go ahead and throw the wires back on. Wait, we have to put the module in. Bolt it back into the car. Nice brand new ignition module. Let's throw the wires on. That should be it for the ignition system. Throw the alternator on. Nice shiny new alternator. And the water pump. Let's go ahead and throw the belt back on. Tensioner. And our accessory. And then top cover. Now we're going to start assembling the air box. Brand new air filter. This car should be running a million times better than before. And bolting it back together. Brand new airflow meter, or AFM. And an air pipe. And we gotta go to repair order, and we're getting a check part, and that should be it for this order. Once we get into the next order, we will sell the parts like I do, just to give us a little bit of a buffer with the money. And I'm back after a little bit of issue with the recording. Luckily, nothing was destroyed with the save file, so we're gonna start with this next job. And the job is to replace the corroded drive shaft. My friend from Diagnostic Station told me that my drive shaft is not going to live long due to corrosion. Please replace it. They're going to pay us $1,500. Not really a lot of money for what the job is, but we're going to get it started. So we got to get to the drive shaft, which is located underneath the truck. So we're going to go ahead and pop all this off. So when we jack it up, just in case we don't need to pop the truck back down onto the ground, take off the rear wheels. So we're going to go ahead and pull these bolts off. That way we can go ahead and lift up the truck. Because I don't believe we need to take off the brakes or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and pop this off. And we're going to hop under. Check the rear undercarriage. There's our drive shaft right there. Obviously now we need to take off the rear end. And we're going to have to take off all this to get to it. Now, why we have to take off the rear end to get to the drive shaft doesn't make sense to me. Again, like I said, this game is not 100% accurate with the real world, because you can well replace the drive shaft on the majority of vehicles without having to take the rear end out. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this drive shaft off now. Let's check real quick, make sure what kind of drive shaft we need. And we're gonna need the rear drive shaft off-road. So we're gonna hop over here to the computer, go ahead and place an order. Now, as you can see, the rear end was not in that great of a condition either, but they didn't request us to change it, so we're not going to change it. Because one, they're only paying us $1,500, and that rear drive shaft just cost us $1,000, so we're only making $500. So I'm not going to put my money into their car when they're not paying me for it. And we got a nice shiny new rear end, and that axle's not that bad. It's at 63%. It's yellow, so it'll be all right. And we're gonna pop the rear shocks on. Looks like he's been taking this thing off-road. And we're gonna hop over here, replace this one. And throw the spring on, and we gotta do the other side. And that should be it for underneath. It's got a nice shiny new drive shaft. And we're gonna go ahead and lower the truck down, throw the rear tires on, and that should be it for this job. Thing back together. I think that should be it with the job. Make sure I didn't forget not to put anything. We got stuff from the previous job still. And we got a check mark, replace recoded, and we're going to click repair to proceed to the next order. And I believe that's going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Simulators with the Low Riding Gorilla. If you guys want to see me play more of this game, be sure to leave a comment. And like always, please like the video. Comment if you have any comments. And always, I can definitely use some subscribers. So, thanks a lot, guys. Bye.